Let's now cross live to Abuja, where Ecowas is briefing the press on the situation in Benin Republic following Sunday's attempted coup. The Ecowas president, Omar Aliyu Touré, along with other senior officials, are expected to address the regional bloc's position and outline the next steps in response to the crisis.
So it's individual agency, it's the understanding and the long relationship and history between the two countries. And also for us in Nigeria, it is standing by the Tinubu administration's 4Ds, of which, as you know, we keep repeating. It's democracy, is demography, is development, is diaspora. And democracy always gets mentioned as the first of the 4Ds. So this is essentially what we're here to speak about today, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. The floor now is for the Minister, Your Excellency, Minister Ajadi Bakari.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will start speaking in English and then I will move to French because I have, also our media and there is few media, French-speaking media here. We are here as part of our ordinary, ministerial meeting within Ecowas, and my brother and I, we think that it was important to come and brief you about what happened in Benin a few days back. And as he rightly mentioned, I think it's really important. It was important for all of us within our community, and especially for the two leaders of Benin and Nigeria. So respectively, Their Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria and President Patrice Talon of Benin, to show clearly that ECOWAS region is still an area where democracy prevails. This is very important, and we show that in our region, in our environment. We cannot accept those attempts to democracy. We request, the intervention of under ECOWAS protocol of Nigeria and other countries, so Côte d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and Ghana, who also offer the support, was after request of Benin. We request the support of our brothers and sisters, not because our army was not capable to do it, because actually, the loyalist force in Benin, they stop the attention and they gain back. I will switch to French because it's very important what I have to say. Je disais que l'intervention du Nigeria, la réponse du Nigeria sous le mandat de la CEDEAO a été une réponse à la requête du Bénin, des autorités béninoises. Non pas parce que l'armée béninoise n'était pas capable de répondre. L'armée béninoise avait réussi à empêcher et à repousser cette tentative de coup d'État, à les mettre dans un retranchement, mais simplement et essentiellement parce que le président de la République ne souhaitait pas qu'il y ait des pertes en vies humaines importantes. Et le camp dans lequel les assaillants étaient retranchés aurait pu, si on y allait tout seul, ça aurait pu entraîner énormément de dégâts. Et c'est la raison pour laquelle le président Patrice Talon a demandé le soutien de la République fédérale du Nigeria, soutien que nous avons obtenu. Et comme l'a dit mon frère, cela a démontré une fois de plus que notre organisation régionale, la CEDEAO, est un outil important, un outil qui permet de défendre la démocratie, de défendre les valeurs de démocratie dans notre espace sous-régional, et c'est la chose la plus importante. Aujourd'hui, and this is very important, we are here for the ministerial meeting of ECOWAS. It's an ordinary meeting, but I think few days after what happened in Benin, is the best testimony toward, the role and the importance of ECOWAS and the brotherhood between each country composing ECOWAS. This is very important, and on behalf of government of Benin, of people of Benin, I really want to thank my brother, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and entire people of Nigeria, but also the entire government of ECOWAS for the support they gave to my country, and the fact that all of us, we decided to stop this, I would say, spreading of coup in our sub-region. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Excellence, Monsieur le Ministre. Mesdames et Messieurs, comme je le disais donc, nous allons prendre les 5 premières questions. As I was saying, we will collect the 5 first questions, and the list here, I have 5 journalists. The first journalist is Mr. Nicolas Rolls from Agence France Presse. You have the floor, please.
Thank you. So my question is, can you confirm media reports that the alleged coup leader Pascal Chikri is in Togo at this moment? And do we know at this moment if there are any links between the coup plotters and the AES?
Thank you very much. I think, as you said, me as Minister of Foreign Affairs cannot comment rumor. So people in charge of, the investigation are doing the work today in Benin and in partnership with our brothers and sisters from other countries. In any case, as President Talon rightly said, we'll do everything necessary to punish people behind this conception of coup in Benin. And I hope that all countries, members of ECOWAS, will support this approach, because we have to stop, this spreading of coup in our region.
Thank you, Excellency. The second intervention came from the cable, Claire Mom.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, Your Excellencies. My first question is for the Beninese Foreign Minister. I was going to follow up with Nicolas's question. If there is cooperation from the Beninese authorities to extradite the alleged leader. And my question to Mr. Tuga is, there was a Nigerian Air Force plane carrying soldiers to Portugal, but for made an emergency landing in Burkina Faso. And there were also reports that these soldiers were detained. But so far there's been no news and no word. Is there a development on this issue? That's my question.
Thank you.
So for the first one, as I said before, I'm not part of the investigation, so I cannot confirm or not confirm what you are saying before. But the right team, they are doing the work today and the investigation to find, the people behind this coup.
So with regards to the plane in Burkina Faso, I'm in touch with my counterparts, Minister Traore of Burkina Faso, and we are discussing how we can resolve this delicate matter as quickly as possible. And we're talking. So it's something that is being handled diplomatically.
Are the soldiers still there?
Yes, they are.
Thank you, Excellency. The next intervention comes from Punarim Benjamin. Punarim Benjamin, Rise News.
Okay, Your Excellency, my question is Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs. We also know that the issue around insecurity is fueling news around the efforts. And we know that the issues around funding is a big problem for our standby force. What is Ecowas doing to ensure funding for them? And then there's a growing increase, there's this increase in machineries around the Ecowas sub-region. What is the government or the Ecowas doing to ensure that this does not escalate and cause further problems?
Is this to me or to, because you said you didn't mention it. Okay, I think first and foremost, we all have to pay up our dues, and that way the ECOWAS standby force gets better funded. But suffice it to say that ECOWAS is one of the most effective, most efficient regional economic communities when it comes to funding, the funding mechanism, the fact that we have the community levy, and the fact that also these recent events, including the unconstitutional changes of government and the attempts and the challenges we have in terms of security, in terms of fighting terrorists and terrorism, underscores the need for us to have a standby force that is well funded, that is effective. And these are some of the things that are being discussed here at the Ministerial Council as we speak.
Thank you, Excellency. Le prochain intervenant nous vient de la Radio France Internationale, Monsieur Moïse Gomis.
Okay, I have several questions in French and English, so I'm starting with Excellency. Why Nigeria was so reactive to Benin Republic and not Guinea-Bissau? Because in Guinea-Bissau right now, there's a lot of voices, political voices that are asking why the reaction was so fast in Benin Republic. I'm not targeting Nigeria, but all the together. Why the reaction was not so reactive for Guinea-Bissau?
The swiftness and the deafness of individuals like Minister Segun Bakari, basically, because he got in touch with me and we were talking to each other, and the two presidents were equally involved as quickly as possible. So all credit goes to President Talon and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So this is what we need, and for everybody to be allowed to play their own role, so that those handling intelligence do the intelligence, those dealing with security deal with security. We, the diplomats, are allowed to communicate and play diplomacy, and that way everything comes together. Part of the challenges that we've had in the past is those that are supposed to be playing one role try to play another, and this is by the way, one of the problems that we have with regards to diplomacy itself in the world as a whole. It's not unique to our region, where instead of diplomats being allowed to practice diplomacy, you have others encroaching in that space. And invariably what tends to happen is a deterioration of the situation or circumstances, because once everything gets approached from one perspective, if it is security, everything becomes a security perspective, then people are not able to talk, people are not able to liaise and find amicable resolutions to problems.
Quelle est la situation actuellement à Cotonou et de la manière générale sur la poursuite de ces migrants et surtout quelle va être la suite sur la présence de cette force en attente de la CEDEAO? Est-ce que ça va, on va assister à une présence comme il y a pu y avoir récemment au Bénin avec la population qui va rester? Comment vous évaluez les choses?
Merci. I will come back to the previous question. Just to say that, in my view, it's definitely also, exactly like Minister Tuga mentioned, the success is also the result of a very strong partnership and a very strong relationship between both President Talon and President Tinubu, who are strong defenders of democracy in our sub-region. And this is very important. It's truly democracy. It's not only democracy we talk during our summit, but they are deeply attached to democracy, and they always defend this democracy. They show it when, during the crisis in Niger, etc. So I think the fact that there is this shared value also helped to fast track the process, because when you share the same value, it's easier to take a decision. And then after, as my brother said, we had a very granular cooperation between our both countries, at military level, at diplomatic level, at intelligence level, everywhere. So it's easy when the two leaders take a decision to ensure that everybody on the every layers we follow the implementation. That's the first thing. Then coming to your question, par rapport à votre question sur la situation au Bénin, je voudrais dire que la situation au Bénin aujourd'hui, la situation elle est stable, la démocratie a prévalu, notre armée a montré qu'elle est républicaine et qu'elle est une institution forte de notre démocratie. Et nous, aujourd'hui, au niveau du Bénin, c'est la leçon que nous tirons. Nous avons une armée qui est républicaine, une armée qui est engagée pour défendre la démocratie, pour défendre les institutions, qui s'est battue, on a eu des pertes, malheureusement, quelques pertes, mais qui s'est battue pour défendre nos institutions. Et c'est sur cela que nous poursuivons notre route en matière de développement. Et je peux vous dire qu'aujourd'hui, à Cotonou, à Parakou, à Natitengu, à Tchaourou, ou partout sur le territoire national, la vie continue, les activités continuent, and it's a part of the message. I'm not here for this, but I'm here for Ecowas meeting, but it's a part of the message I'm sending also to investors, businessmen from Nigeria investing in Benin, etc. Everything is stable. Our country is pursuing, his route in terms of development, and we are, everybody can come, do business and pursue their activity. Then, revenons à la situation, la présence en fait des forces, de la force en attente. Je pense que les discussions sont en cours. La situation elle est stable et donc dans les jours à venir, les autorités militaires prendront les décisions idoines pour voir si elles restent sur place ou si elles continuent. Mais leur présence est toujours en collaboration étroite avec les forces de défense et de sécurité du Bénin qui ont démontré leur bravoure et qui ont réussi à repousser cette volonté de mettre un terme à notre processus démocratique.
Merci, Excellence, Monsieur le Ministre. Your Excellencies, it remains 3 last intervention. The next one is from Cabo Verde, Madame Rosana Almeida. You have the floor.
In Português? No. I know only Tudo Bene.
I'm going to try to speak in English. My question about Benin is only responding. My question is from the Minister of Nigeria. What do you think about Donald Trump's statements about Nigeria regarding the death of Catholic minorities?
Well, I think we've gone beyond that. This is not, the statement didn't just happen. We've moved on. What we are focusing on is how to resolve the security challenges we have, not just in Nigeria, but in our region, because it is a regional problem. So it's important that we frame it correctly so that we apply the correct solutions to the problem. So if the framing is wrong, then the solution will be wrong. So it's a regional problem. What we see happening in terms of the fight against terrorism in the Sahel, in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, and other countries is the same thing that is happening here. So it's a regional problem. It's a Sahel problem, it's a Lake Chad problem, and we're working with partners, including the United States, to find a solution to the problem.
Thank you, Excellency. I would like to call Ibrahim Samura from Sierra Leone for his question. Yeah.
Of Nigeria through Ecowas. By this time, you'll be saying Benin is under the control of military rule. But did you have confidence in your military at this time? And from Nigeria, sir, the response to Benin signal a lot of discussions around the sub-region. So what are you doing through Ecowas to save the lives of other citizens that are still suffering amidst the war?
Very good question. First of all, I will tell you that Benin, we really commend the Nigerian defense forces, Nigerian government for their support. But as I said before, the coup, they started the coup around 3 a.m. Okay, they attacked President House around 3 a.m. Okay, and our National Defense Force, they blocked them. I will move to you speak French? No, you speak only English. Okay, so our defense force, the presidential, we call it Republican Guard on our side, not presidential guard, but the Republican Guard, they block them. Okay, they fight back, and then they withdraw into a military camp. Right. So when we started discussion with for the intervention of Nigeria and the other under ECOWAS protocol, our military already pushed them back. It was already a failure, the coup. They attempt to take over the national television for a few hours, and then we took back the national television, our national defense force. Why do we ask for the support, aerial support especially, and also troops from Nigeria? It was mainly because in the area where they established themselves in a military barrackment. This military barrackment was surrounded by a civilian, and we don't want to have so many casualties, because if we let our military to enter there, the casualty will be very important. That's one of the reasons why, President Talon requested the support, aerial support from Nigeria, to ensure that we can have a chirurgical impact, destroy the armored vehicle they have in this military barrackment, and ensure that they will not get out to take over, the airport, etc. But at the time we call for the support of our brother nation, our military, our army already fight them back, and the coup was already unsuccessful. So that's why I was saying that we have two lessons out of this episode in Sunday. The first one is the fact that our army is a Republican army, an army fighting for democracy, an army capable to stop this type of coup. That's the first thing. The second thing is our regional institution and the partnership, the brotherhood between Benin and Nigeria under ECOWAS protocol is really well functioning, because we show that together we can fight for democracy. We can stop, people trying to derail our democracy in the region.
Thank you. So the question was, what is Nigeria doing to tackle the problem of community citizens still under military rule? What we're doing, what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has done, is to come up with the Regional Partnership for Democracy. I urge you to read it, and essentially it's a way of strengthening democracy in the region and also assisting countries that are going through a transition to civil rule to achieve that return to democratic rule. And it also takes into cognizance the variable geometry of democracy. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It is also not, it's not something that requires us copying other democratic models. As Africa, we can come up with what works for us internally. And also tackling the problem that democracy is being confronted with particularly to do with misinformation and disinformation, because democracy operates under the consensus that we agree on what truth is, what facts are. The moment, and this is where the media has a very important role to play, the moment we say that in the post-truth era, that truth itself is something that should be determined by by whatever we want, then democracy begins to face a very serious challenge. People like me grew up under military rule. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people in our community that did not grow up under military rule. So sometimes we look back at military rule and we glamorize it and think it is something fancy. Nigeria has been through that, done that, been there. We know it is not what it's made out to be. And ultimately, the military is not trained to deal with issues to do with waste management, issues to do with development, with primary health care, with infant mortality rate, and so forth. And so it's not for us to say that the democratic model has to be a particular type, but to encourage African countries to come up with what works for them. And this is what the Regional Partnership for Democracy is about. We're partnering with the UNDP, we're partnering with Ecowas. I urge you to look at it, and it's not something that is owned by Nigeria. Nigeria has come up with the concept under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his chairmanship of ECOWAS, and we've presented it for other countries in the region to look at and apply it as they deem fit.
Thank you, Excellency. Le prochain intervenant nous vient du Togo, la télévision togolaise, Monsieur ou Madame Yata Aratem. Monsieur Yata. Monsieur. Ah, d'accord. Autant pour moi.
Excellence, bonjour. Dans le cadre de cette attaque contre la démocratie béninoise, les forces ont été mobilisées. Est-ce qu'on peut savoir combien ont été mobilisés pour soutenir l'armée béninoise, et est-ce que les forces armées togolaises font partie du contingent? Et aujourd'hui, on lit un peu partout que les fugitifs ou les auteurs des attaques sont réfugiés dans un pays voisin ou dans les pays voisins. Est-ce que la diplomatie béninoise confirme cette présence dans les pays voisins?
Je pense que je vais commencer par la deuxième question. Je crois y avoir répondu tout à l'heure. Il y a des équipes qui sont en charge de mener les enquêtes, qui sont en train de mener les enquêtes. Je ne peux pas confirmer ou infirmer ce que vous avancez. La seule chose que je peux dire, et le président de la République, le président Patrice Talon l'a dit, c'est que cette tentative de mise d'atteinte à notre démocratie ne restera pas impunie. Elle sera sévèrement punie. Et quel que soit l'endroit où se trouvent les personnes, tout sera fait pour que la mémoire de personnes qui ont malheureusement succombé lors de cette attaque soit honorée. Donc là-dessus, pour nous c'est clair, mais je ne peux pas confirmer ou infirmer, je ne fais pas partie de l'enquête. Les équipes en charge de l'enquête sont en train de faire le travail. En ce qui concerne les troupes, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, la mise en échec du coup d'État a d'abord été le résultat de la bravoure des forces de défense et de sécurité béninoises. L'attaque a commencé dans la nuit, aux alentours de 3 h du matin. Et ce sont les éléments de la garde républicaine qui ont repoussé l'attaque du domicile du président de la République, qui ont contre-attaqué pour repousser les mutins jusqu'à ce qu'ils se retrouvent encerclés dans un camp militaire. Et à ce moment-là, la décision qui a été prise, c'est de ne pas entraîner un bain de sang parce que ce camp militaire se situant dans une zone fortement habitée, un assaut aurait pu entraîner énormément de pertes en vies humaines. Et c'est là où nous avons sollicité le soutien, l'appui de notre pays frère, le Nigeria, sous le mandat de la CEDEAO, pour pouvoir de façon chirurgicale déloger les mutins. Sur le nombre de forces, il y a actuellement environ 200 militaires qui sont présents, qui sont venus prêter main forte en fin de journée aux forces de défense et de sécurité béninoises dans le cadre du ratissage et du nettoyage.
Merci, Excellence. Your Excellencies, as you know, we are in West Africa, and our population, our local population, should understand what happened in the region. That's why I would like to request for your permission to allow the last intervention, Alhaji Malam Wise, to ask his question in Hausa.
If we speak Hausa, I will speak Yoruba. This is mandatory.
Yeah, of course. Journalists will record.
No, you have to find someone asking question in Yoruba. No, I'm joking.
And that was Yusuf Tugar, Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Segun Adaji Bakari, his Beninois counterpart, now addressing the press alongside ECOWAS officials on the situation in Benin Republic. Now, they highlighted the regional response to the failed coup and reaffirmed ECOWAS's commitment to safeguarding constitutional order across West Africa.